Art of the Elements, Episode 6, Helium, Neon and Argon. Today we are going to look at the three lightest of the noble gases, helium, neon and argon. The noble gases, also known as the inert gases, are so called because they do very little chemistry. Helium, neon and argon have a grand total of 0 known compounds between them. This is because they have full electron shells, which are stable and low in energy. Most elements require a bond to create these full shells, but the noble gases don't, and thus in general don't bother making any bonds. This made them boring to most chemists, but it is thanks to them being inert that they are interesting to us. Neon is most well known for neon lighting. A gas tube is formed with an electrode at either end, and filled with neon at low pressure. When a large voltage is applied through the gas, it is ionized, causing it to emit light. In the case of neon, it is a bright red light, which is now somewhat unfortunately well known for certain districts in some cities. Argon can also be used in lighting, and gives a violet-y lilac colour. There are also other gases such as carbon dioxide, which can be used in the same way, and a variety of colours can be made from both using different gases and using tinted glass, with say orange being made from putting red neon in yellow glass. Whilst neon is only found in trace amounts of air, argon actually makes up about 1% of the Earth's atmosphere, making it by far the most common of the noble gases. Due to this abundance, it is largely used as the go-to inert gas for situations where you don't want a reaction. For example, in light bulbs, or if you're working in the lab and you have something that is particularly air sensitive. Both neon and argon were discovered by William Ramsay and Lord Rayleigh in the 1890s. Argon was discovered first as there had been speculation of a form of nitrogen that was ever so slightly lighter after chemical experiments had been done. Ramsay and Rayleigh then took a clean sample of air and removed all the oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide and water and were left with this light nitrogen. They then used a spectrometer which showed a spectrum which matched no other element and clearly showed they had found a new one. It was named argon from the Greek word for lazy or inactive due to its lack of reactivity. This then got the men thinking what else was there in the air that we haven't found, so they cooled air until it became a liquid and gradually allowed the oxygen, nitrogen and argon to evaporate off, and they found a further 3 noble gases, neon, xenon and krypton, which the spectroscope then proved them to be unknown to science. The name neon is from the Greek for new thing and was the brainchild of Ramsay's 13-year-old son. Spectroscopes have been used to identify many different elements based on the light that they give off. In the 1860s, some individuals decided to see what would happen if a spectroscope was pointed at the sun, and during a solar eclipse they did just that. In 1868, a bright yellow line was seen, and it was concluded that it was due to an element not known on Earth. The element was named helium, after the Greek word for sun, helios. It wasn't until the 1890s that a sample was made on Earth. Ramsay was again looking for samples of argon by treating minerals with acid, when he noticed a gas that gave the same bright yellow line seen before. Helium has numerous uses. It is the second least dense element, but unlike hydrogen, which is the least dense, is not reactive, so it is used in balloons. It also has no known melting point, meaning it will not turn into solid, meaning an incredibly cold liquid form can be made, and this is used to cool superconductors below their critical temperature, so it's used in things like MRI scanners and other cases when large electromagnets are required. Helium is responsible for 25% of the mass of the universe, but is quite scarce on Earth, and we are actually facing a shortage. It is often found with natural gas deposits, but it's much lighter than natural gas and air, meaning that it literally floats out into space. Now that balloon you lost as a kid probably hasn't made it that far, but the helium inside of it will have. If you want to know more about helium, I've linked to a video on SciShow about it. William Ramsay went on to discover 2 further noble gases, which will be coming up in a future episode, and received the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1904. In the same year, Lord Rayleigh received the Nobel Prize in Physics for discovering argon. That's all for this time. We'll see you on Thursday.